Hey there, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video for the month of October. This time my thoughts on Terror Train. Now Terror Train came out in 1980 and definitely one of my favorite 80s slasher films. I really enjoy this movie for a number of reasons. I think the director, Roger Spottiswoode, who would go on to direct stuff like the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies, I thought he did a really good job. I love the idea of putting it on a train. Thought that was a really inspired idea for a slasher film. Just gave it a different feel, some nice lighting inside the train. I thought that's such a really cool thing to do for a slasher flick. Jamie Lee Curtis, I think she does a wonderful job in this. And I know I haven't reviewed the Prom Night films. Maybe one day down the road. I don't know if I'll have time this month, but like Prom Night, I felt like she didn't have much to do. That's because of the plot, which I'll explain whenever I talk about that. But here she felt like there was more for her to do. Even really compared to Halloween 2, which I love Halloween 2 from 1981. But for the most part she's in a bed. But here she felt more central to the film. And I think gave her a really good performance. Ben Johnson as the train conductor. He was likable. He was a friendly face. Easy to root for. You see why people would trust this guy as the train conductor. Good older actor. Handled the role very well. Love the idea of the killer changing costumes, because it takes place in a New Year's Eve costume party. And he will kill someone and steal another costume. I thought that was a cool idea. And the costumes are unique. You got Groucho Marx, you have this reptile, and this other figure. It's a smart idea because why wouldn't he have other disguises, especially at a costume party? And usually for a slasher, it's okay, one outfit, that's it. But it made it a bit more unique. And sorry, I keep showing the cover because I do think Scream Factory did a really good job on this cover. And it even has some interesting bits like David Copperfield being in the film and him doing his magic. Hart Bochner, who is in Die Hard. He's a guy who's like, Hans, Bubby, I'm your white knight. He's in this flick. I like the setup of the movie. I thought it really gave the film, how do I put it? It's a prank where this guy thinks he's with this girl, and then he finds out these assholes put a dead body in there. And first off, it gives a reason for the killer to be doing what he's doing. I mean, that's a really fucked up thing, and it makes him go a bit nuts. But also, I like what they do with Jamie Lee Curtis's character, where she is part of the prank, but she does not know it was a dead body. They didn't tell her that part. They just told her to say this stuff, come over here. And then when she finds out, she doesn't laugh. She's horrified, and she's screaming. She's like, oh my god. So that gives us, there's a reason why the killers don't come after her, but at the same time, we, the audience, go, she doesn't deserve it, she didn't know, and makes us feel sorry for her. She doesn't gloat about it. She's not proud of it. And it's not even really her fault because these assholes lied to her and fucked with her. So I thought that was a nice way to set up the situation. And the death scenes are fine. It's not the goriest movie. But a guy gets his head smashed against the mirror, and another time, finally, this woman leaves a cut off hand. Again, it's not the goriest movie, but it didn't bother me as much because there's other stuff to enjoy. I like that Jamie Lee Curtis is a fighter in this. The bow she has with the killer, like when she locks herself in this cage and there's this close call with this pole right next to her face, and then she stabs the fucker with this needle, a type of needle that you keep like papers in, stabs in that guy's, I think, his cheek. I like the way it ends. It doesn't end on a downbeat note, doesn't end on a sequel bait note, which is surprising because a lot of times they end it, and they didn't even end it on a shock note. So I appreciate that. You know, like a shock, which became so typical after Carrie that it became less shocking and more expected. So it became more cliche. They didn't do that, or downbeat or sequel bait. So the fact it did none of those three, I give a thumbs up to. I do wish Scream Factory they had more features because it's just an interview with production executive, an interview with the producer, interview with the production designer, interview with the composer, and then a trailer and a TV spot. Like no commentary, not even like a fan commentary or anything. I think they were going to get the director to do a commentary, but then he backed off. Like, I cannot do this. I'm like, buddy, you've made worse films than Terror Train. Give me a break. But yeah, I mean, I don't have. I mean, sure, I would have not minded having a bit more gore in the movie, like big, practical effects. I would not have minded that. But other than that, I don't really have much problems with this movie. Like I said, I like the fact it takes place on a train. It did a different feel to it, different location compared to other slasher films. I like the idea that he steals other people's costumes. I like the way it's set up. Jamie Lee Curtis is likable, and she does a good job acting. Uh, Interesting to see David Copperfield in there. Ben Johnson, he's solid. Some nice back and forth between Jamie Lee Curtis and the killer in the third act. Definitely some intense sort of back and forth as she's trying to stay alive. Ends on a satisfying note. Yeah, I think this is one of the better slasher films of the 80s. Really enjoyed Terror Train. I think it's a damn good flick. I don't know what else to say other than that. If you like slasher films, you've never seen Terror Train, I think it's well worth a look. And if you haven't seen it in a while, I think it's well worth a look for the month of October. So, show it one more time, just to annoy people. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.